until midnight, you're listening to Thanks for the Memory with Alex Hehr on the great southern sounds of Melbourne, Southern FM 88.3.
A garden, I could still get a thrill at the zoo. Anywhere, I don't care, give me you every little moment. If there were 40 hours a day, I would want 42. Time flies by in the craziest way when I'm looking at you every little moment. Just as long as my heart has a beat, you're the one that I need to complete every little moment.
Every Little Moment there, and that was Roy Fox and his orchestra with Dan Donovan, song written by Jimmy McHugh and Dorothy Fields. And before that, opening our program tonight, a Sing As We Go medley presented by Percival Mackey and his band, and that was from the movie of the same name. I hope you're going to stay with me through until midnight. We've got lots of good recordings, lots of nice nostalgia in tonight's program.
Hello, this is Steve Price, and you're listening to Thanks for the Memory on 88.3 Southern FM with Alex Hehr.
We kissed and love flowed through my heart. We kissed and love flowed through my heart like the water under the bridge, sweetheart. But the roses paled, the moon turned white, and the water froze 'neath the bridge one night. If the old bridge knew just the way we felt, then the water that froze 'neath the bridge would melt, and the tide would bring you back to me, and our love would flow as constantly as the water under the bridge.
This is the BBC Light Programme.
With all my heart, I beg of you, be mine, beloved. I swear forever I'll be true to you. I'm yours forever and a day. Beloved, be mine.
Be Mine Beloved it was, and that was presented by the one and only, yes, I thought I was going to do that, the one and only Beryl Davis, with orchestra conducted by Bob Farnan. And that was nice, wasn't it? Be Mine Beloved. And before that, Water Under the Bridge, Lanny Ross, with Nat Finston and his Paramount Recording Orchestra. That was recorded back in Los Angeles in June 1934.
I'm for the weather.
Alright, firstly a forecast for the bays for tomorrow. A southerly wind of 10 to 15 knots, tending more southeasterly tomorrow. Afternoon and evening sea breezes to 20 knots, waves rising to about 1 metre during the afternoon and evening. For Melbourne, a shower or two this evening, morning drizzle patches tomorrow, and then a fine with sunny periods developing. Light to moderate south to southeasterly wind, freshening during the afternoon. An overnight low of 18 and a maximum tomorrow of 23. Currently it's 20 outside.
Why not become part of the Southern FM team? Become a Southern FM subscriber. Simply call the station now and we'll mail you an application form. A full subscription costs just $25 per annum, a non-voting subscription is $15, and a youth subscription for those under 18 years of age is $10. You'll receive program details, a regular newsletter, and you will be able to take part in training courses in the various aspects of radio production and presentation. Call us now for an application form on 556 4466 and become part of the team at 88.3 Southern FM.
Good words of advice. It's 17 minutes after 8. You're on Southern FM, 88.3. Alex here with you through until midnight, and my offsider tonight is Matt, as usual. If you want to give us a call, it's 556 4466. We'll be happy to talk to you.
You're listening to Thanks for the Memory, part of your weekend on Southern FM 88.3. Until midnight, you're with Thanks for the Memory on 88.3 Southern FM. And his orchestra, and a lovely song called Until the Real Thing Comes Along. The vocalist on that occasion the vocal was by Larry Stewart, and that comes from 1936, written by Saul Chaplin and Sammy Kahn. They were very prolific songwriters for their time. And before that, we heard a rather humorous song, I Lift Up My Finger and I Say, Tweet, Tweet, Jack Hilton's orchestra, vocal Leslie Cerrone, and that was recorded in London on the 7th of April 1929, and it was Leslie Cerrone's own song.
Will you survive if there's a bushfire in your district?
Bushfire? We've got to get out of here.
Willie?
No, Wally. In most cases, the best thing to do is stay inside your house.
Aye?
Provided you take proper precautions.
What precautions, Willie?
They're all spelled out in this brochure, Wally.
Oh.
Will you survive?
Great. I'm going to get
Not now, Wally. Be fire safe. Contact your local fire authority.
Mopping up soda pop rickies to our heart's delight.
Dance to swingaroo quickies, jukebox Saturday night. After sipping a soda, we got a scheme. Somebody else plays the record machine. Really don't need it, we'll make out all right. Let the other guy beat that jukebox Saturday night.
Until midnight, you're with Thanks for the Memory with Alex Hehr on the great southern sounds of Melbourne, Southern FM 88.3. Yes, and there we were with Harry Reeser, who bills himself as the greatest banjo player of them all. It's 8:30. In a moment, themes we remember.
Tommy Hanlon Jr. will be on Southern FM next Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Yes, Neil Thompson and Maria Halliday will have Tommy Hanlon Jr. as their special guest on the Tuesday morning show. Tommy Hanlon will be talking about the past and the present activities in entertainment, together with what's happening with his Silver Circus. Join Neil and Maria next Tuesday morning and hear Tommy Hanlon Jr. at 10 o'clock on 88.3 Southern FM.
Thank you, Matt. And before we heard from Harry Reeser with a medley of fine tunes there, we heard, of course, the Modern Airs with the orchestra directed by George Cates and New Jukebox Saturday night. Southern FM 88.3, it's 8:31. It's time to relive memories of radio and TV shows of the past with themes we remember. Well, normally our themes come from radio or television, and tonight we have one from television, but we have one from the cinema. Yes, the cinema. And I know that a lot of people will remember this particular piece of music, but they may not know it by the title. It was called Captain of the Guard, and it was used for the Val Morgan cinema ads for years and years and years, and also they used it for at the theatres when they closed the curtains just prior to showing the main event. And I'm sure this will bring back lots and lots of memories. Captain of the Guard, and it's the old Val Morgan cinema ad music. Enjoy. Lots of memories there, I'm sure, for many, many people. And if Maury Isaac's listening, Maury does a little segment every Friday morning with Ray Lawrence, and he's sort of a resident movie buff and historian. And Maury, of course, would remember the curtains closing. It became quite an art form. At each theatre, they had their own set routine. And it was usually the lights would come up and the curtains would close right on the last note of that piece of music, only to have the lights go out and the curtains open and the main feature come up. At least that's how I remember it. But of course, these things, when you were a kid, were a lot
they seem to be a lot grander than they probably were, but never mind. I'm sure you would have enjoyed the Captain of the Guard, played by the Orchestre de Concert de Belgium, conducted by J.P.O. Henry. 24 minutes to 9 as he looks at the clock cross-eyed. And now from television and from the Monty Python show. This particular piece of music, I can't listen to it now with a straight face without seeing those bulgy eyes of Mr. Feldman and all that sort of company. The Liberty Bell from the Monty Python Flying Circus. And it's played by the Ellen Morehouse Bond Street Brigade. I hope you enjoy it. There we are with the Liberty Bell March. Join us next time when once again we relive memories of radio and TV shows of the past with themes we remember. And don't forget, if you have a particular theme that you would like to hear, we'll be only too pleased to play it for you. All you have to do is to contact us here on 556 4466, by phone that is, and we'll look after that for you. Or if you wanted to drop me a note, you can simply write to Thanks for the Memory at Southern FM 88.3, and we're at PO Box 188 Moorabbin, Victoria 3189. It'll be my pleasure to play it for you. It's 20 to 9 on Southern FM 88.3. Alex here with you until midnight. Hi, Jamie.
Make your journey one that really is worthwhile. Always fly PAA.
Yes, it's 19 minutes away from 9 o'clock, and I was actually up and away today. I was on the opposition airline, of course, and set was very nice. And all our thanks to those who looked after us on that flight up to Canberra on Friday and back today. Very pleasant. And I must say a very good evening to our good friend out there, Keith Bauer, and the lovely Lynn. And they're listening tonight to the program, and I hope you're enjoying it. And anyone else is listening and enjoying the program, why not give us a call? Because we get lonely in here from time to time. We'd like to hear from you.
You're tuned to Thanks for the Memory with Alex Hehr on 88.3 Southern FM.
And it fades gently off like a Fitzpatrick's travelogue there by a waterfall, presented by Jack Payne and his band, a song written back in 1933 by Irving Carl and Sammy Fain, and of course from the movie Footlight Parade. Before that, Ben Selvin's orchestra and one of my favourite American vocalists, one that we don't hear of a lot, Smith Ballou, and the song which Smith recorded in September 1929, called The Web of Love, and that came from the film The Great Gabbo. Not Garbo, but Gabbo. 11 to 9, Southern FM 88.3. I'm Alex Hehr. And this is one of those that hasn't come home properly, so we'll just wait a little minute. And there it is now, so we can have it.
David Bowie recently stated, as a child of the 60s, we were taught by our peers and our generation that we should question all the established values and focus on searching for a sense of self. It seems now that David himself is embracing some of the traditional values and leaving behind a life which included sexual confusion, drugs, loneliness and dabbling in witchcraft.
Rebel, rebel, how could they know? Hot tramp, I love you so.
Rather than go on tour now, he prefers to commit himself to his marriage and to developing a close relationship with his adult son. There are times when it may be wise to chuck out and ignore some of the lifestyles we see in the traditions or behaviour of the older generation. But real values, relationships, commitment and care, and might I add, faith, will always enhance and enrich the lives of ourselves and those around us. This is John Smith.
It's 10 minutes to 9, and at 9 o'clock we're going to have for you our Hall of Fame.
Enjoy a guided tour of historic Chinatown, a visit to a Chinese herbalist and a tour of Melbourne's Chinese Museum, plus an enjoyable lunch. It's a nice way to see an interesting part of Melbourne. However, bookings are essential by phoning 662 2888.
Do you need to earn some money? A leading Australian company has vacancies for cleaners to work on a part-time basis at sites which the company services in the local and near local districts. Australian Maintenance and Cleaning has new contracts for 1995 and these positions must be filled. Contact the personnel manager on 558 2544 for further details. 558 2544. Southern FM 88.3. Your program is Thanks for the Memory, and in a moment, some more good music after this.
Wherever you go, there's radio. Yes, radio is here to stay. You can depend upon a great show wherever you go on radio. Wherever you go, there's radio. Yes, radio is here to stay. Whether home or in your car, no matter where you are, there's radio night and day. Wherever you go, there's radio, and radio is here to stay.
How could you believe me when I said I loved you, when you know I've been a liar all my life?
You've had that reputation since you was a youth.
You must have been insane to think I'd tell you the truth.
How could I believe you when you said we'd marry?
Why, you know I'd rather hang than have a wife. I know I said I'd make you mine.
Now wouldn't you know that I would go for that old line?
A double-crossed liar.
Oh, you're good.
You're tuned to the great southern sounds of Melbourne, 88.3 Southern FM.
Well, I was a bit early. Sorry for that. I just wanted to let you know about that song. It's supposed to be the longest titled song ever written. How could you believe me when I said I loved you when you know I'd been a liar all my life? Fred Astaire and Jane Powell with the MGM Studio Orchestra from a movie called Wedding Bells. Now, in the USA, it was released as Royal Wedding, but in the in the UK and in Australia, it was released as Wedding Bells. The song was written by Alan J. Lerner and Burton Lane, and let's see, it came from 1951. June Allison was originally cast in the lead, and then she found that she was with child, so they put Judy Garland in her role, and then they promptly sacked Judy, so Jane Powell took it over. So that's a little bit of an interesting footnote to that song we just played with Fred Astaire and Jane Powell. And no, I'm not going to repeat the title. All right. At 9 o'clock, we have our Hall of Fame. So we'll have two more songs, and then we'll be right back with Hall of Fame. And here is the first of those from Barnabas von Gexy's Orchestra.
climb the highest mountain, when a cloud holds the sunshine in, and love begins, where hope and love
Lee Lawrence, the late Lee Lawrence it was, and a version of Suddenly There's a Valley we don't hear that often, and he was accompanied by Ray Martin and his orchestra. That's the phone ringing. We've got the studio door open because it's a wee bit warm. It's coming up to 2 minutes past 9 on Southern FM 88.3. And now, on Thanks for the Memory, it's time for Alex Hehr's Hall of Fame. Yes, it's our Hall of Fame for the 15th of January 1995, and we're going to tell you who was born and who died on the 15th of January throughout history, and Matt will finally get to do the births tonight. Here he is.
Alrighty, born on this day was British actor-singer Rutland Barrington, 1853. American musician Bunny Berrigan, 1909. American singer-musician Chuck Berry, 1926. American actor Lloyd Bridges, 1913. American singer Henry Burr, 1882. An American clergyman Martin Luther King, 1929. Illinois percussionist Gene Krupa, 1909. Egyptian President General Gamal Nasser, 1918. British composer, actor and author Ivor Novello, 1893.
Yes.
American actress Margaret O'Brien, 1937. And Greek shipowner Aristotle Onassis, 1906. And American composer Elie Rubel, 1905.
Gee, there's a few there, aren't there?
Yeah.
Ivor Novello, one of my favourite British composers, and I'll be playing a couple of tracks if we have time, and I'm sure I will make time tonight to play some Ivor Novello stuff. All right, it's 9:03, and now here are the deaths for today, the 15th of January. And there's quite a lineup. Have a listen to these. The American musician Roy Bargee. American actor Ray Bolger. Of course, he was an actor, dancer and singer, but most noted, I guess, for his acting. The American lyricist Sammy Cahn, who wrote so many songs. In 1993 he died. Did I say Ray Bolger died in 1987? Richard Conte, the American actor, died in 1975. The American composer Reginald de Koven died in 1920. The Scottish actor Gordon Jackson, he died in 1990. The British musician Jack Jackson died in 1978. American musician and singer Jack Teagarden, what a great musician he was, died in 1964. The dancer, choreographer and director of dance theatre in Melbourne for many, many years, Dame Peggy Van Praag, died on this day in 1990. And David Whitfield, the English-born singer, a wonderful singer too he was, he died on this day in 1980. There you have it. The Hall of Fame for the 15th of January. It was a big one tonight. I'm sorry about that, but it needs to be said, I guess. There's quite a lot for the 15th of the month. I don't know what significance that had, but there you go. A lot of very prominent people in our Hall of Fame for the 15th of January. I'm Alex Hehr. Your program is Thanks for the Memory.
Hello, this is Steve Price, and you're listening to Thanks for the Memory on 88.3 Southern FM with Alex Hehr.
for Vinex, wonderful Vinex, to brighten up your whole home through. Ask for Vinex, marvellous Vinex, it makes old furniture look new. It's so colourful, Babbo, so durable, Babbo, so easy to keep clean too, Babbo. So ask for Vinex, wonderful Vinex, the plastic fabric that is made for you.
Take a tip from me and have your old furniture reupholstered with this miracle plastic fabric, Vinex. Next time you buy furniture, ask for Vinex and look for the Vinex tag.
Just one more chance to prove it's you alone I care for.
Just one more chance, and that was presented, of course, by the one and only Les Paul and Mary Ford. And before that, Louis Armstrong and his orchestra with When You're Smiling from 1928. It's, let me see, it's 12 minutes after 9 o'clock now. You're on Southern FM 88.3, and I think we might have one more track before we go into our program of On This Day.
Tuned to Thanks for the Memory with Alex Hehr on 88.3 Southern FM.
Somebody else is taking my place. Russ Morgan and his orchestra, music in the Morgan manner there. And that was from a film from the stable of Gene Autry, no pun intended. And the film was called The Call of the Canyon. It's 16 after 9. You're on Southern FM 88.3. On this day in 1965, Dawn Fraser, champion Australian swimmer, became the youngest person to be named Australian of the Year at a ceremony in Canberra. Martin Luther King, American clergyman and leader of the civil rights movement in the 1960s, was born in 1929, and American actress Margaret O'Brien was born in 1937. It all happened on this day. And that's the first play for On This Day, and we'll feature that again at 11:15 this evening on Southern FM.
There are over 1 million English-speaking adults in Australia who have problems with reading and writing.
If you're one of them, or if you know someone who finds it difficult to read and write, please make a note of this number, 1-800-02-1184. That's the Reading Writing Free Call Hotline.
It's never too late to learn to read and write. You can do it. You can do it at home. And it's free. Phone 1-800-02-1184 and find out how.
Children's International Summer Villages are holding an open day involving children from 14 different nations, cultural singing and dancing, and plenty of fun activities. This is held at the Furbank Anglican School, Outer Crescent, Brighton, on Sunday the 15th of January at 1:30 p.m.
Thank you, Matt. That was a short one, wasn't it? I'll get you for that. All right. Okay, looking at our clock, it's 19 and a half minutes after 9, and don't forget, we'll have Crosby Corner for you at 9:30 tonight. And the 10 o'clock special is Bing Crosby and the Kraft Music Hall, which was broadcast originally on the 12th of March, 1942, over the American network, radio network, and we'll be presenting part 1 of that broadcast tonight and part 2 next week, so something to look forward to. Good old Bingo. Not only do you hear him at 9:30, but we'll have him in a broadcast at 10 o'clock as well in the special. Southern FM 88.3.
Go anywhere, anytime. Yes, it's the new Mark 9 Centurion tank.
The vehicle designed by man with the woman driver in mind.
Well, how rude. Michael Benteen. It was 9:20 on Southern FM 88.3. I'm Alex Hehr, and I have the program Thanks for the Memory, and I hope you're enjoying it. Well, I did say that Ivan Novello was one of my favourite composers, and he's celebrating a birthday today. And from his 1937 production called Crest of a Wave, Edgar Elms and the beautiful Rose of England.
When you are young among the 7 hills of Rome.
I hope you enjoyed that. That was Mario Lanza from his 1958 film, The 7 Hills of Rome, the song written by John Green and Paul Francis Webster. And I heard part of Al Irvine's program, My World of Music, this afternoon, and he had a gentleman on at 5 o'clock talking about the life and times, and the music, indeed, of course, of Mario Lanza, and I enjoyed it very much. So, gentlemen, sir, if you were listening, I hope you enjoyed listening to The 7 Hills of Rome, and that's taken from the RCA 78, which issued at the time. Mario Lanza on Southern FM 88.3.
As a phone user, you now have access to the Telecommunications Industry Ombudsman, an independent office established to help settle any unresolved complaints or disputes you may have with your telephone company. That's 1-800-062-058, an Industry Ombudsman for phone users.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and it's 27 minutes after 9. Shortly we'll have Crosby Corner. And there we were with Eddie Cantor. Eddie Cantor with Doodaloo, Doodaloo, Doo-Doo-Doo. And that was recorded on the 12th of September 1924, just before they started using electric current to make the sound recordings via a microphone. Or a microphony, whichever you prefer. It's 9:30 in Melbourne on Southern FM.
Where the blue of the night meets the gold of the day, someone waits for me.
On Thanks for the Memory, we present Crosby Corner.
Crowns the blue of her eyes like a halo and early. If only I could see
And welcome to another edition of Crosby Corner. Yet another 2 tracks from Bing's vast repertoire this evening. Firstly, let's go back to the 9th of December, 1932, and Bing accompanied by a studio orchestra recorded in Los Angeles, and the Victor Young song, Street of Dreams.
Midnight, you heavy laden, it's midnight. Come on and trade in your old dreams for new, and your new dreams for old. I know where they're bought, and I know where they're sold. Old name.
Mary's a grand old name, indeed it is. George M. Cohan's famous song, bringing to a close tonight's edition of Crosby Corner.
Where the blue of the night meets the gold of the day, someone waits for me.
And we hope you enjoyed Crosby Corner for this week. A couple of nice songs, weren't there? Very nice indeed. It's 21 and a half minutes to 10 o'clock on Southern FM.
This is your station for music, for news and sports. Now we must pause for a moment, our call letters to report. This is radio station
Southern FM 88.3.
Your station for music and news and sports.
21 minutes to 10. Well, it's a sing-along sort of a night. It's warm and balmy and everyone should be in a joyous mood. I am.
Buying or selling livestock? Then don't take transport risks with your valuable consignments. Be sure. Contact the Victorian Railways, the transport specialists for over a century. If sufficient traffic is available, the railways will run a special train to meet your requirements.
Use your railways always.
Hey, that's a nice bright one, isn't it? Leo Reisman and his orchestra again, making a welcome return to our show, and Fred Astaire doing the vocal there. Song written back in 1933 by Al Dubin and Harry Warren and featured in the movie 42nd Street. And before that, the London Cassani Club Orchestra with the vocal by George Barclay from the movie The Great Ziegfeld. And that was recorded in London in July 1936. It's a quarter to 10. At 10 o'clock we have our special and part one of the broadcast of the Kraft Music Hall with Bing Crosby tonight. And I know you're going to enjoy it.
David and Maria are pretty much your average teenagers. They hang out with their friends, play a bit of sport, but at this moment in time, they can't live with their family. Through adolescent community placement, they'll have a real chance to be placed within a happy environment, just like your home. So if you can share your home, Adolescent Community Placement and the Children's Welfare Association of Victoria would really appreciate it. For more information, phone toll-free 1800 013 088.
Thank you, David and Maria. The Sports Federation Foundation urgently requires volunteer collectors to assist with its special fundraising collection days to be held in the metropolitan area this year. All volunteer collectors will be provided with labelled collection tins, identity badges and, of course, vests. Volunteers wishing to assist are requested to contact the SFF at the earliest opportunity. Now, if you can spare some time and offer an assistance to the SFF, contact their fundraising manager at the Sports Federation Foundation, 99 to 101 Howard Street in North Melbourne. The phone number there is 326 8044. 326 8044. And on Southern Sport this morning, they had a chap there, I think he was the CEO from the Sports Federation Foundation,